What's up, guys? This is your boy James, aka 68J, coming to you on this Monday, and we got one hell of a show for you guys today. I look up, and who do I see? Only the most amazing family on planet Earth, EARF, hanging out with me. Shouts out to who we got first on the scene. My man Canal, Real Canal Life is up in here. Good to see you, my brother. Appreciate you in a major way. Shouts out to you, Chicken 415 in the house says, hey, Crypto for Life family. Hope everyone had a blessed Thanksgiving. It was absolutely incredible. Had a great time with the fam that was out here. Shouts out to DCA Crypto Dave, Earth, greatest family on planet Earth. You damn straight, my brother. Appreciate you and all your support. Ness Force in the house. That's my man right there. Ness Force, one of the most solid dudes you'll ever meet. Yo, Crypto for Life fam, where's that Santa rally? Ho, ho, ho. The markets are acting like a ho, ho, ho. Something like that. Let me stop. We've got Ivan Hernandez in the house. What's up, Ivan? Good to see you, my friend. 68J, what it do, my guy, my brother, Chicken 415 in the house. Appreciate you. Yeah, I'm hoping we get that damn Santa rally as well. Yeah, I feel you, DCA Crypto Day. We're going to talk about that and much more, guys. We got one hell of a show for you guys. Now, I need y'all to participate and do me a little favor. If you guys, for any reason, see my stream goes black or drops, please let me know, as we are back streaming live on X, YouTube, and on IMUTV. I just received a new link from IMUTV, so, but I do believe they have it's a totally different platform altogether, so I haven't even checked out the new platform, but I do know that I got a link and I signed up, put everything in place. And so we are currently live. And for those of you guys that might be watching this on a repeat, you're not watching it live. Maybe you're going to go catch the video on our channel. It's Crypto for Life with your boy James, aka 68J. Do me a huge personal favor and go over to our Crypto for Life page, Crypto for Life with 68J. Guys, we are currently live right now. We go live Monday through Friday. 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and sometimes we actually go live on the weekends. Sometimes we go live in the evening. Depends on if we have guests or interviews and things like that. But typically it's Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now that we have that out the way, we are also right now, again, just to repeat it, live on YouTube, live on X, and live on IMUTV, which is our partners over there. Shouts out and much respect to Niall and Rob and all those guys, what they're doing over there. So, again, Crypto for Life, you guys can check it out right here. You can see that we're live. You can also go over to our X page and see that we are currently live as well. So, all right, there we go. We're live. Doesn't look like we got any hiccups. We'll keep this ball rolling. All right, all right, all right, all right. So we're starting to gain some traction, guys, and let's keep this ball rolling. All right. Looking at the markets right now, market cap $2.89 trillion. What the hell's going on? We were just at like 3.14 or something like that, which was still about a trillion less than our all-time high, which got up to like 415. So, but let's take a look at what's going on. Obviously, the almighty. Obviously, the one and only. Obviously, the one that can wreck everything. Bitcoin. Oh, gosh. There's not a whole lot to laugh about, is it? You can see that we had one hell of a rundown after being right around that 91.44, a massive pullback, massive capitulation, or pullback, should I say. And now we're just kind of moving sideways with a little bit of a upside. But guys, I'm telling you, when you look at this and you try to figure out, like, why is this happening? What's going on? Look, we had the news from China that they're going to be banning, crypto activity, but I don't think it's the China thing. I don't think they have that type of power, the same type of power they had back in the day. There's a lot of fear, uncertainty, and doubt, which is FUD back in the day. Obviously, we talked about the 2017 hype cycle, and then we had the 2021 speculative cycle, and now we're dealing with the 2025, obviously adoption cycle is what I'll call it, utility cycle, but it's also, I believe, an extended cycle. And I say that because, guys, look, the things that are in place right now, guys, we've never been in this position. Yeah, we've had Bitcoin drop. We've had crypto, play out in this crazy, one of the scariest roller coaster rides you've ever been on, maybe as an investor. But we've never, ever, ever, ever been in this position as a space in this totality, as far as blockchain, crypto, what's happened in the United States, a bullish president, a bullish, the world, I would say, is probably even more bullish now that Trump is bullish. And then obviously a very supportive and I would say bullish SEC, which is not what we've become accustomed to. So again, we're going to get through this. We got a lot to talk about. Bitcoin right now, 85,761. We've got Ethereum right now below 3,000 at 27 and some change. XRP barely at $2. I don't know if that's going to make anybody holler, but it might make you want to holler if you look at the fact that we are still, by far, number 3 in the entire world. Number 1, Numero uno in the United States. There is not a crypto bigger than XRP. That's why Trump mentioned it on Truth Social. We're going to get into that and much more. BNB right now at 818, guys, down from a third. You guys see how quick things can swing, and I told you guys this before. There's going to be, see, you look at XRP, and everybody wants to go crazy because it dropped $1.40. $1.40. BNB, literally, you know, we saw, matter of fact, let's go Bitcoin. Bitcoin got to its all-time high at 126,000. Right, 126,000. So what is that, like a $46,000 drop since October, just over a month ago? BNB literally just recorded its all-time high, right, at what was it, 1370, October 13th. So that was about what, 7 days after Bitcoin's all-time high. The point I'm trying to make, guys, as some of these assets, which XRP has not had as moment. No, 2017 it went from cents, like literally pennies, to $3.84 or whatever the all-time high is. It's kind of, you know, debatable. Some people say based off of China's numbers. Some people say based off American numbers. But 384 is what I see on CoinMarketCap. And at the end of the day, that was still in a speculative market. Or no, that was in a hype market. That was a 17 hype market. Speculative was 2021. Now we're in a position, guys, where XRP's moment is here. Everything is lining up. And that should tell you more than it doesn't tell you. The fact that we've had, and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, Grayscale, am I wrong in saying that Grayscale launched this morning? Did somebody launch this morning? I don't know if it was Grayscale. Somebody launched this morning, right? Or did it not? I think 21 Shares was supposed to launch. Maybe it didn't launch this morning. I haven't been all over the internet to this morning like that. So, but let's keep it going. We'll get to some of these points. Again, XRP just moved up a penny. And so the point I'm trying to make, guys, is when XRP has this moment, you hear Phil and Domino's guys at Easy 8 talk about $1,000 XRP someday, or 2030 to be Pacific. You hear people like Jake Claver says, man, it could hit 3-4 digits soon if certain things play out. You hear all these different variables about what XRP can do. Here's what I want you to remember. When XRP when it has this moment, remember, there's a time Bitcoin was at, you know, $3 or $2 or $4 or $10, and it didn't swing at $10 by $10. It didn't swing by $5. It swung by cents. Right now we're seeing XRP swing by cents because of where it's at. There's a time BNB was swinging by cents. Now it's swinging just over a month ago by what? Where's it at now? $500? A $500 swing when it wasn't even at $500 some time ago. So the point I'm trying to make, guys, we're going to have our time where we see $1,000 XRP or more, and you're going to see swings, guys, like you see with BNB, $300, $500, $200. And the days that we're living in right now, guys, would just be incredible moments, especially if you had the wherewithal to be patient, trust the process, and make it through the storm. You're gonna have one hell of a story. I'm telling you that right now. Solana right now, guys, 124 and some change. We got TRX right now at 27 cents. Dogecoin still in the top 10 at 13 cents. ADA doing a thing at 37 cents. That old stinky Lincoln kind of came down a little bit at 11.92, guys. We got XLM right now at 23 cents. Oh my gosh, that's a little bit more than just a little bit, poquito, more than, there goes that Spanish again, more than 4 for a dollar. We got LTC right now at number 18 at 76.47, still at 18. Price is way down. HBAR right now is at 13 cents, guys. We got AVAX at 12.70. Let's see, we got SUI right now at 132. Zcash is still doing its thing. 341.95, still doing its thing, even though it's had a pretty nice little retracement here. 21% in the last 24 hours, 39% in the last 7 days. Good Lord. Shiba, that number's going down. Cinco Zeros and Siete, They go 6-8 with that damn Spanish. Normally, guys, I'm a lot more fluent when I've got my iced coffee. Right now, I've got the regular coffee, not decaffeinated. So, you know, hey, it's good. Woo, need that little fix right there. Shouts out to my, I'm going to do it right now. Crow right now is at 10 cents, guys. That's 10 for a dollar. You got to like that. Especially when you look at the last bull run this thing was in 2021, it got up to 96, almost 97 cents. 10 cents, I don't care who you are. It sounds like a deal to me. Uniswap right now is 5.53, guys. Polkadot comes in at 2.01. My God. Did Polkadot break under $2 again? Did it? It sure did. My God, 198. This is crazy. This is a coin that was a big pivotal moment for me. Polkadot, man, that's crazy. Okay, let's see. Aave right now at 166.61. Astra coming in. It broke underneath $1. It held $1 for a while though, but that Bitcoin, that Bitcoin, that better take that bet. What they call it? Beta test coin. That beta test coin could really wreck things. Let me stop. Near, let's make it clear. It's at 162 down as well. ICP right now 367. I'm not going to go with everything, guys. The markets are just whatever. Algo right now at 13 cents. Trump QNT right now 93.88. Trump coin 570. Now that's $70 lower than its all-time high. Who's won on that coin besides Barron and the family? Just saying. Let me stop. Filecoin right now at 148. Flare, don't you dare sleep on Flare at 1 cent. We've got VTHO right now at 1 cent as well, guys. By the way, if you guys are joining us for the first time, you never checked out the show, you have. My name is James, a.k.a. 68J. Been in crypto since 2017, documenting my journey in the evolution of money. With that being said, guys, nothing we talk about on the show should ever be considered or deemed financial advice because it's not. No comprende. Let me stop. But yeah, not a financial advisor, guys. Just having fun, entertainment purposes only, whatever that means to you. There it goes. RLUSD is at number 64 in core market cap. We see that little stable coin by Ripple still moving up, holding strong. XDC right now at 5 cents. We've got Render right now at 154, sorry. We got Bunk. You got any? I don't. Doesn't matter. Still 5 zeros and an 8. That's cinco zeros and ocho for those of you guys as bilingual as I am. Let me stop. What else we got in here? CRV right now at 38 cents. Optimism doing this thing at 28 cents. The optimism is very low right now. I know it is. I'm not going to try to play the optimism is low, but for those who know, it's not part of my plan. So $2 ain't making me want to holler. I mean, it's way up from when I got it, but just saying. INJ right now is, we got 518 Merlin chain. What is that, like Camelot? King Arthur? Let me stop. What else we got here? XCZ right now, guys. One of the OGs in the space, 46 cents. We got GRT right now at 4 cents. Telcoin doing this thing, still holding that 5 cents. That's crazy. Tel was holding strong, man. I ain't gonna lie. Shouts out to all those that was out there who believe in Tel early on. I did at one point. Let's see what else we got in here. ETH5 right now in the top 100 at 74 cents. All right, let's get right into it. We got one hell of a show. Again, guys, we're back live. I don't see anybody complaining about hiccups, so that means that the show must be doing okay, so the show must go on. Let's keep it going. These are legendary times that will define you. How you respond can make you. You know what? Let me do this too. I know what I forgot to do. There was definitely something I wanted to repost, and I was like, I didn't do it, did I? I didn't. Damn it. Okay, it's okay. I'll do it later. Okay, these are the times that will define you. How you respond will make you legendary while leaving those who didn't have the foresight in awe. And I do, but guys, look, I'm not getting into a long, drawn-out story, but I had a lot of people doubting me. A lot of people didn't want to listen. I'm sure you guys have as well. A lot of people didn't want to listen to what you're talking about when you're talking about crypto. And when you're winning, they get very quiet. When you're losing, they hit you up and go, hey, man, how's everything going? They know how everything's going. They're hoping. They're waiting for this market to implode or go down or another Sam Bankman-Fried. Because when Sam Bankman-Fried and things like that happen, we were like, oh, man, what happened? And for them, they're like, oh, yeah, I told you it was a scam. So, so at the end of the day, guys, stay focused, stay locked in. These are the times that will define you and set you up if you play it right. Okay, Apple and Ripple have been locked in. Most have no idea what's in place. I do agree with that. Apple is one of the first tech giants that adopted Ripple's interledger protocol. Most people don't realize that, but it's right here. If you guys want more information on that, make sure you guys go and read this documentation that Smoke puts out. It's one of the reasons that I like Smoke. It says interledger community defines it as the payment method for use. Going down further, it says, unlike other blockchain firms looking to disrupt the current financial sector, Ripple is working hand in hand with banks and financial institutions to make the current payment system more efficient in leveraging the blockchain technology. It has partnered with numerous banks across the world. However, by adapting Ripple-backed interledger, Apple became one of the first tech giants to adopt the technology. And everybody's trying to figure out, am I holding the right thing? Stay locked in and trust the process. I know trusting the process is hard right now, guys, until you realize that every delay was secretly building your foundation. Every pullback. It's kind of like when I always use the examples of Linda P. Jones and Molly Elmore when they were like, it's the greatest blessing. And not to say that the lawsuit was a great blessing, but what came out of it, right? So we obviously understand that the lawsuit was horrific. What I mean by that is the SEC versus Ripple and XRP for 4.8 years, the millions and millions, tens of millions, $100 and something million that it cost in legal fees, obviously the potential billions that it lost in partnership deals and things that could have came into the ecosystem and obviously rendered a different price at a time where it was struggling and just maintained 50 cents. And so, but I do believe what they said in the sense that that horrific time that we dealt with the old administration is going to end up being one of the greatest blessings because it gave people the opportunity to position themselves at a time that, you know, if things hadn't happened, it could have easily been a $5 asset or a $10 asset or whatever the case may be. So, and that's just my opinion, not financial advice. Okay. Shouts out to Real Canal Street, Canal Life, Canal Street. That's the damn movie, last movie I did with Ryan Lamar, Canal Street. Tony Bags, good morning, Tony Bags in the house. That's my man right there. Tony Bags, Art Caffeine, good to see you guys. Shouts out to both of those guys, legendary brothers. Appreciate y'all in a major way. Thank you for your ongoing support. Yes, we're open. And in my opinion, okay, so what is this in regards to? So this is Chad Steingraber. He says, yes, we're open, and holy smokes, you can see Canary Capital, Bitwise, Franklin Templeton, and now Grayscale. So you can see how everything is playing out. So I don't think anything launched new. I think this is just the continuation of what was already a launch. And I think if you, is it 5? I don't know why I thought it was 6 different ETFs going. Is it 5? It could be 5. Holy smokes, that's funny. That's the name of our movie, Holy Smokes. If you got, it's funny. It's 2 things that have me kind of laughing here. One is, the name Holy Smokes. If you guys know what I'm talking about, if you guys want to go over to our Chicago coin platform, it's right now we've got a movie we're working on. It's my 4th movie, and Canal Street here, Canal. What is the name at again? Not Canal Street, damn it. The Real Canal Life. The name Canal made me think of Canal Street, which is the last movie I worked on with Ryan Lamar. We got a movie that's going to be coming up. I'm waiting for the final. Part has been the second part has been delayed. The first part had already been, why do people call me in the middle of my show? Bro, I'm live right now. Okay. So, but anyways, but yeah, so got a lot of stuff going on. Really excited. Obviously, for anybody who's paid attention to what we're doing, if you go over to the community meme coin X, and yes, it's a community meme coin. Shouts out. I love what I put right here, which is our favorite bag when shopping during the holiday seasons, Chicago style. But if you guys go down here, you'll see that we've been mentioned in some different publications, including was it Variety, about the movie and about what's going on. I'm really, really excited. My 4th movie, I think it's Ryan's like 6th or 7th or 8th movie or something like that. So excited about that. But let's get back to it. So anyway, Chad Steingraber puts this out, and I just kind of made a comment. He said, we're open, and holy smokes, you know, things are going well. And so I kind of put this out. I'm going to read it to you. I said, yes, we're open, and in my opinion, they, because it's the only thing that makes sense, are doing everything they can to smother XRP ETFs shine by manipulating the crypto market using Bitcoin to do it. Now, everyone has a different, well, it's just, look, you can say what you want to say. There's no reason. There's no tariff, horrific news. There's no war. There's no this. There's no that. There's no reason for us to be having, and if you don't think this is manipulation, you haven't been in crypto long enough, the kind of money that they're sitting there taking in leverages and longs and all the different things that people are doing, shorts or whatever the case may be. So, you know, there's no reason for us not to be rolling. You know, it's like they're trying to make it seem to us that things play out the same, which is typically when you have a red November, typically it does follow into a red December. But we're not in a typical cycle. This is not the same cycles that we've had of the past from a perspective of being a hype cycle or a speculative cycle. This is a real utility adoption cycle. And I like some things that Jake has said. I might put these things, put some of the stuff I'm saying in perspective. I'm going to go into that in just a second. But it said too much is happening and is in place for this. And again, I said this before. I'm going to say it again. There's no, let me just read this. Oh, and we are going to be more than okay. But I'm just pointing out the obvious from the moment that the U.S. government reopened and XRP ETFs launched, this whole crap has been going on. This is when a lot of this started, is right around the time that we reopened. Everybody was optimistic. Oh my God, that's going to be big. XRP ETFs is going to send the market. And yeah, so I just believe There's a lot of manipulation going on. Let's listen to Jake. Now, I'm not going to go through this whole 52 minutes. The dude was dropping bars. I like quoting, I like listening to a lot of stuff that Jake says because he says it from a very intellectual and knowledgeable, especially being connected in this space, perspective. So let's listen into what he has to say.
By 20,
shouts out to my sister. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. I think I hit this too hard because I saw my sister, World Be Free, in the live. Shouts out to World Be Free, Halls Balls. Good to see you, my man. Appreciate you guys in a major way. Let's keep it going.
26, the cryptocurrency landscape will be radically different. And the strategies that have worked today will be obsolete. And most investors are preparing for the entirely wrong cycle. They don't understand that things are shifting here.
Yep.
After being in the crypto space for numerous bull runs, there's been crypto winters, and seeing the full evolution from pure speculation to what is about to be institutional adoption, I have to say that this year is going to be the most critical year for crypto that's ever taken place. And by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly what the crypto market is going to look like in 2026, which narratives will dominate, how regulation is going to completely reshape everything as we move forward, and most importantly, how to position yourself right now before everyone else. 2026 is going to be the end of the casino era in crypto. It's going to be institutions taking over.
Yep.
Okay. The speculation and hype and all the craziness that's ensued in this asset class while it's been the Wild West is going to die off. And right now in late 2025, we're watching the final chapter of where meme coins and everyone else. 2026 is going to be the end of the casino era in crypto.
Listen what
it's
he
going to
says.
be institutions taking.
Listen to what he is saying. For everybody who's out there trying to gamble, for everybody who's got oh God, just listen. It's so much I want to say, but I'm just watch what I say. Listening.
Over. Okay. The speculation and hype and all the craziness that's ensued in this asset class while it's been the Wild West is going to die off. And right now in late 2025, we're watching the final chapter of where meme coins and all the speculative craziness is finally coming to an end. We've seen DATs meteoric rise, and we've seen those start to taper off here. There's a lot of conjecture,
and guys, what he's saying, there's look, there's always, I think there's going to be a place for people who like hype stuff, hey, and I think the worst part of what people are going to get trapped in is that they saw a lot of these memes explode. There was a time where memes were hot. There was a time that gorilla NFTs people like Justin Bieber, some of these guys have paid $250,000 for a freaking NFT gorilla. I mean, like, there's going to be phases, right? And there's certain phases that are going to be globally empowered or globally that globally change the way that we do business, the way that money moves. And those are the things that are going to be sustainable. Not gorilla NFTs, not meme coins that were hype. You guys got to understand, and I did this research not too long ago. Actually, it was a while back. There are thousands of coins that are launched every week. Thousands, even though you might only see 100, thousands that are launched weekly. The cryptocurrency space in and of itself probably has, I don't know the exact number, but I'm going to probably say it's tens of thousands of coins, even though we see the top 100 and you can go past that and look at certain coins, whatever. But a lot of these assets, some of them don't even make it on crypto, coin market cap. They may not make it on, what's it called? What's the other one here? CoinGecko or whatever. Sometimes they'll just be on DEX tools, but there's thousands, and because people don't have that kind of money, because more often than not, what you have now, we are on all platforms. You could find our particular coin, and I'm not trying to compare us to anybody else. I'm just saying, like, that's a whole nother story because we've never taken out $1. And what we're doing is based off of movies and things that we're doing with the community, for ourselves, and also things that will play back for the community. So, we're not. The unfortunate truth is a lot of these people. Now, there's some really powerful memes out there. Obviously, there's the Dojus, the Shibas, the Pepes, and things like that have done a lot, right? But then you have to ask yourself, what are they for? And that's what he's saying. Like, what are they going to, like, there's people who still question Doge in the top 10, let alone, but what happens is people think that some of these coins like Shiba and others are going to see those, and that's kind of the double-edged sword is that, or because a lot of people seeing. I personally, I'm gonna be honest with you, my Shiba in of itself, Yeah. No, I'm not down talking all memes, sis. I'm just saying that there's coins like, for an example, I saw my Shiba at one point get to 800 something, just under $1 million, just my Shiba holdings. But I don't think a lot of these assets are going to get back. I had assets that are gone. You guys remember stuff like SafeMoon and some of these other ones that don't exist. And these coins were in the top, like whatever they were. I mean, some of these coins that are gone today were in the top 100, 50, 30, 20. You're right, Celsius, Luna. I mean, so FTX. So all he's saying is that we're getting into a point where it's going to be a utility, run is going to be real world adoption assets. It's a lot of these hype, and I'm not down talking any, no, not like XRPL. No, I do believe there's going to be a place for memes. I really do. In the sense that it's going to be a certain type of person or people that hold them for, and they might find certain things like this, or you can save going to the movie, whatever it is that they use them for. It is what it is. We have a community meme, right? And it's going to be utilized for certain things that we want it to be. It's going to be a certain group that wants to support that. But what Jake is saying is a lot of these assets, and you've heard Jake talk about it. You've heard, I'm going to go back again. You've heard Jake talk about it. You've heard Dom and Phil talk about it. You've heard Zach talk about it. You've heard Lewis Jackson talked about it. You've heard CEOs of some of these companies like Canary Capital saying that 90-something% aren't going to make it. Brad Garlinghouse said 90-something% of the assets we see are not going to make it. So when you look at the tens of thousands of coins, guys, you just got to figure out, will yours be in that 90-something% that won't make it? There's going to be a lot of coins that do make it. There's going to be some coins. There might be coins that haven't even been launched yet that will make it. Fact, because obviously things continuously get better and people continuously get innovative with their ideas and technology and things like that. But I'm just saying that, like, you just got to be careful because there's certain things, just like back in the day, cassette tapes were great, CDs were great. They're now both obsolete. There's certain things that people aren't even wasting times on. I have a ton. I've got tens of thousands of dollars in NFTs because I got caught up in that whole thing. What are they worth right now? Whatever, the value of somebody's belief in them. And even though I hold a massive position in NFTs, I mean, a lot. I've been scammed in NFTs, whatever the case may be. That's a different story. The point I'm trying to make, guys, is that we're in a different position now. This is not, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. People are like, what do you mean? Like on my deal? That's not what I'm saying. T-Pat is in the house. Good to see you, my brother. Shouts out to Nawali's in the house. Good to see Tony Baggs. That's my man right there. Super cycle. Yeah, and now Tony Baggs, I think you're right, brother. I think we're in a super cycle. But let me let Jake, because this can become a long ass show. I'm gonna go back. I went back a little bit because I want you to really, please. I love you guys with everything that I am. I hope you guys know that by now. This dude is dropping some bars right now. You really need to pay attention.
Everyone else. 2026 is going to be the end of the casino era in crypto. It's going to be institutions taking over. Okay. The speculation,
because all the big boys are now involved. All the big boys, the big banks, the governments, the CEOs of these major companies, they're playing, and they're not effing around with the coin that you think they are. They're not. It's going to be retail people like you and I who see some type of value in these assets that he's talking about, but the majority, no.
and hype and all the craziness that's ensued in this asset class while it's been the Wild West is going to die off. And right now in late 2025, we're watching the final chapter of where meme coins and all the speculative craziness is finally coming to an end. We've seen DATs meteoric rise, and we've seen those start to taper off here. There's a lot of conjecture, just last week when I was at CoinAlts about that. And the market's maturation is becoming at a much more aggressive rate than I think people really understand. 2026 will be the year this transitions from all of the craziness that it's been over to the institutional side. It'll be completely
over to the institutional side. What we're seeing right now, guys, with this, I'm not going to say the pullback in of itself, but I think the reason they're able to manipulate the markets, and this is just, and it's not my opinion. There's so many people saying the same damn thing. Like, you might get on here and watch 6-8 J and go, wow, he keeps using the word manipulation. I do believe that they're able to do this at this time because there's still a lot of dots that are being connected, a lot of T's that are being crossed, a lot of things being implemented. We're still waiting for the Clarity Act. We're still waiting for various regulatory things to be put in place. So this is a pocket. And if you guys, that can't be true, you're being a conspiracy theorist. You need to wake your ass up. If you've ever had any kind of money in your life, or you've ever been in tune with the the financial sector, and you've seen how many times and I don't even want to name out the institutions, but the big boys that are in this space here in the United States have been sued and in trouble for insider trading and manipulating the market for billions, and then they get, and I'll give you an example of one major company. I'm not going to get into the name, but let's just say the level of like a JP, a BlackRock, a Grayscale, you know, like that level player where they've manipulated billions in the market, and then they get slapped on the hand 3.2 million. And for us retail, we go, oh my God, they got hit for 3.2. Oh, good, they got a good smack on, but they stole billions. They did insider trading to their customers, and this is the same thing we've seen when we've seen these things that were happening with CZ, and how people got so frustrated, all those massive liquidations, and then you saw that people were getting wiped on Binance. And guys, look, if you're new to this space, there's a lot of things you probably don't know, like the whole the scandal where some of these exchanges, I'm not going to name them, where they can see what you're doing. They can see when you're putting in stop losses, when you put in shorts and longs. They are raping people, and I hate to use that word, raping people for money, raping people for billions and billions and billions, and because of this gray area, right? Where was it? We heard a whole lot about certain exchanges doing that, and then we figure out or find out that later you don't really got to answer for anything. Matter of fact, hey, let's give the guy a pardon. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's, whatever the case may be. Oh, what about these scams over here where people have gotten scammed up? Wait a minute. Well, since our guys got, let's pardon everybody. Let's let go of everybody else. There's Tua and all these people that, let me stop. Let's keep it going.
Completely undeniable. Institutional adoption is already here, and it's now just being distributed into the space. We've seen the Bitcoin ETFs launch in early 2024, and the majority of financial institutions spent 24 and 25 building custodial solutions and compliance frameworks and integrating these systems to be able to scale here for 2026 when the Clarity Act, I think, will pass. So by 2026, you're going to have...
It's important to remember, too, when Bitcoin ETFs launched, there was a time where a lot of the hype or a lot of the price action happened, not a lot, but in the beginning stages, during the time that they were being announced that they were going to fall into place, they came into place, and then the markets actually did the opposite of what people thought. Small pullback to capitulation for some months, and then massive explosion up to the upside, which eventually we got up to the $126,000 mark. Jake has pointed this out many a time, saying that the same thing is going to happen with XRP. You're going to see a lot of this inflows as far as the capital that's coming in, and then all of a sudden, you'll see this, what we saw, right? And I don't think, look, I said this once and I'll say it again. The thing that we don't have that Bitcoin has is Bitcoin is almighty. Bitcoin determines and moves the market. They know this. They can't manipulate the market with XRP. They can manipulate the market with Bitcoin. So when Bitcoin ETFs came out, it was a different story, right? There was nothing above Bitcoin that could rob it or steal his shine or his moment. Unfortunately for us, we understand that there's a lot of people who own massive amounts of Bitcoin. Government opens back up. The same morning it opens up, first XRP ETF launches, and we haven't had any type of upside tick since then. It's been just a straight crap show. And I do believe that they're doing this purposely because, one, they're able to utilize Bitcoin to, manipulate the markets, and people are making a lot of money. And it may, I think it comes from various places. I think exchanges, I think governments, country, the big boys are doing this because they're making ass loads of money. And they realize they got a certain amount of time to do this, because once certain things are put in place, it's game over. Everyone's going to be playing by the rules. And then as some of these assets like XRP and other utilities, HBARs, Algos, IOTAs, XLM, XTC, all these different coins that will be used from a utility perspective start to decouple from Bitcoin. Now they lost it. Now they can't manipulate. But right now they can. And that's just the good old American way. That's a fact. Holland is a superpower, no emotions, just know what you hold and don't get fudded out. That's a fact. Fact, Tony Bags.
Pension funds, you have sovereign wealth funds, and you're going to have major corporations, and they will be normalizing crypto allocations as a standard asset class and diversification in their treasury management strategy, and using these assets on their balance sheet to be able to transact business. I don't think that we've seen the big turnover of that piece yet here at the end of 25, but I think we're pretty close. So with the market dynamics changing fundamentally, like if you look at it objectively, Bitcoin has been the king, okay? Undisputably, first to market, largest market cap. The majority, well, I mean, not even the majority, there's very few coins that are uncorrelated to Bitcoin's movement at this point, because 90% of the market is driven by bots, and we've seen violent 80 to 90% drawdowns that'll be changing as things move forward.
Spitting bars. He is spitting bars.
And those have been characteristic in previous cycles. So the volatility that we've seen since then, it's just not going to be the case, which is where the opportunity is for a lot of people, right?
Which is where the opportunity is for a lot of people. Shouts out to Jose. Shouts out to Tony Bags. Big Bro Tim, what's up, sis? Good to see ya. T-Pat's in the house. We got Tony Bags. I thought somebody else came here. I didn't see. Make sure you guys hit the like. Shouts out to XRP Hustle Hard, my man, Pots and Pans, one of our biggest supporters. Thank you, brother. Appreciate you in a major way. Make sure you guys hit the like, subscribe, notification bell. We've got 100 people watching on our X, our YouTube, and our obviously I am UTV. Not sure where all the viewers are at, but guys, do me a favor if you're a viewer. Go over to our Crypto for Life channel. We've had this channel now for 3 years. 3 years. I've been in the space for 8 years. We've had this channel for 3 years. We've got some of the biggest names, greatest interviews ever. We have strategies in here. Again, not financial advice, about dollar cost averaging in 70, 20, 10. We have dollar cost averaging out strategies, which is a 25, 25, 50. We have success stories, and we have stories where people have lost everything. And we also have some of the greatest interviews. Some of the biggest names have been on my show. Obviously, for those of you guys who don't know, we've been shut down 3 times. We've been shadow banned, all that stuff, but we're still here. Damn it, we're still moving. We're still going, and we're never going to stop until they shut me down finally, I guess. But let's keep it going. Let's get back to Jake. There's some really important topics, and we're going to get back on track.
If you are in volatile markets, there's big moves to the upside and there's big drawdowns. So it's a zero-sum game. There's a lot of people that have won and made a lot of money in crypto, but there's also been a lot of people that have lost a lot of money in crypto.
We're going to pause it right there. I want to get back to this and just say, we're going to come back to Jake and what he just said. A lot of people have made a lot of money. A lot of people have lost their assets. Their assets. Let me stop. Okay, it's called Higher Highs and Higher Lows. Vivek Sen says, I've watched Bitcoin crash from now. I don't know how long this guy's been around. He's stating that he's been around. Let me see, where's his page. Let's see. Does this show when he was actually coming to the... Okay, I was trying to see. I don't see where it shows his... let me see if I just go to it. Okay, 2017. Okay, so he joined X in 2017, but he's claiming that he's seen Bitcoin at 32 and 2 cents. Now, it's possible. I'm not going to say anything against this gentleman. He's got quite a few followers. So it's very possible, even though he's only had an account since 2017, because Bitcoin was not $32 in 2017. That's a fact. I know because I got in 2017. But let's just roll with it. He says, I watched Bitcoin crash from $32 to 2 cents. That's that's a big statement right there, because hey, look, if it was the first one, I don't care if it was like Skunk G-String coin at 2 cents and it was called Bitcoin, I probably would have bought it before I even known, because I know how I did when I first found out about it, and it was not cheap, and I was buying like crazy. But at 2 cents, that's crazy. So he said he's seen it from 32 to 2 cents retrace. He's seen it retrace from $200 to $50. He's seen it retrace from $1,200 to $200. That's still not 17. He's seen it retrace from 20 to 3,000. That is 17. That is when I got in. That right there. That's exactly when I got in. I got in. It was retracing from not quite. It didn't hit 20,000. It was 19,000 and some change to be exact. I know because that's when I came in. When I came in, I went all in. I shouldn't say all in, that's not the truth financially, but I went all in as far as studying, and it was coming down off of 19, 18, 17. I started dollar cost averaging in on Bitcoin at 16,000, and it started crashing down to, it got all the way down to 3,500. So when he says 3,000, he's absolutely right, but that was 17. So he must not have had an X account during this time. So it's very possible he just didn't have an X and he saw it. Not sure how that was though, because but it's possible. Shoot, I'm not gonna, like I said, I can't say what this guy did. Okay, then he said it got to 60,000 to 15. I was part of all this. All this, I've been a part of all that. So 17 was when I got in. So, but that's crazy to sit up there and see these draw. So he's on point saying, hey, and it's called higher highs and higher lows. And at the end of the day, we've showed this 1,000 times. I don't give a damn what people have to say. Oh my God, it's a scam. Look at that scam. Look at that scam. Started at 4 cents. Look at that scam. Look how it's played out. Oh, gosh. Huh? Has it gone back to $1? No. Has it gone back to $10? No. Stop it. Know what you hold. That's all I got to say about that. Let's move on. Tom Lee predicts Bitcoin will hit an all-time high before the end of January 2026. Let's listen in. Tom Lee.
I do think Bitcoin can make an all-time high by the end of January. So I don't think we should think the highs are in place for Bitcoin or Ethereum or crypto. So a lot of it's going to depend on equities recovering, which we expect it to.
Okay.
And that helps the animal spirits. And I think a new Fed chair will help. And we have
a new Fed chair will be huge because Trump already said he believes that rate should be 1% or lower. I mean, Jerome Powell being gone is a big deal because right now it's very political, it's very manipulative, and there's a lot of old people that still got their hand in the old system. And Jerome Powell, to me, represents the old system.
He said when people got worried about a hawkish Fed, that kind of hurts the discount models, the discounted cash flow models like AI models, but it hurts crypto models too. So if we have a dovish Fed, that's really a tailwind. I do think Bitcoin can make an...
I concur fully. So let's, I do agree with that. Okay. How I see the current status of the crypto market. So, I'm gonna break this down. It's kind of a little bit of a long. I kind of got into my little long type mode here, but hear me out. Shouts out to anybody coming in. I can see everybody's here. Shouts out, much love to the Crypto for Life family. How I see the current status of the crypto market, guys. This is just my opinion, but from 68J to you. Here we go. It's like when you're flying. The plane has really bad turbulence. So anybody ever been in a plane? I'm an experienced flyer, but I've been on the plane with people who are not first time flying. They just, I mean, like they are freaking I remember when I've had my kids on for the first time. I remember when I had family and friends on for the first. They freaked the hell out. So I'm gonna read this again because I want you to get this. So this is how I see the current status of the crypto market. It's like when you're flying and the plane has really bad turbulence, how it's perceived versus the reality. The first thing, if you haven't flown before, or you're new to flying, the first thing that you're thinking is a plane is going down and you're about to die. Literally. I've had turbulence because you guys know I spoke all over the world. I've been, my background, I've been all over the world since like I was young, right? So I was like literally young. And then obviously my professional life. And I've been in a situation where planes have gone through, like, anybody here like the Bermuda Triangle, where there's a lot of dead space and the plane's like, boom, boom. And I seen one time we went through like a pocket and the damn stewardess, this lady was going through and it was like no warning and it was like turbulent. And before you knew it, you saw the stewardess hit her back. She went up and hit the top of the plane and came down. I was like, damn. I mean, I'm talking about scary. I'm talking about where the plane was going, boom, boom. And it was one of the scariest times I've ever flown ever, right? And I'm going to tell you right now, man, if anybody had a talk with God that day, if anybody had a talk with God, boy, I had him on speed dial. As soon as I seen that stewardess, I was like, dear Lord, good Lord, please help me. I'm just being a buck. I keep it a buck here, right? It was one of the scariest things I've ever seen, and that was like many moons ago. I've seen planes. There are certain planes. If you go into Ecuador, where I used to speak a lot, I used to have one of the biggest teams in. My presence was big in South America, Ecuador, Chile, Peru, Argentina, all over South America, and it's an airport, not Quito, but what's the other one? Not Quito, but there's an airport that you fly in, and the damn plane goes like this, and as it comes in, it goes like that to land. It literally goes sideways, and right before it gets to the ground, it turns in every freaking time. It's some kind of way that, because Ecuador is where the center of the world is, the center of the earth, where they got this thing where you can put an egg and it just stands up like the center of the earth, right? And so Guayamon? No, not Guayamon. It's Quito, and there was another one I used to go to a lot. But the planes would go, and they warned me. They said, just so you know, when you fly in there to speak, and I would, have these massive conferences to go speak at, the plane's going to go silent. And man, if they weren't lying, it was the craziest damn thing I've ever seen. You think you're, I don't know how the pilot did. They're trained for that, right? Can't think of a damn city in Ecuador. But anyways, craziest thing I've ever seen. And so so anyways, you think you're going to die in that first example. If you've flown before and are an experienced flyer like I am, right? You've been up and down a whole lot. You've been through turbulence. You've been through this before. You've seen the turbulence. You've felt it. You've seen all kinds of crazy things. But at the end of the day, while others are panicking and freaking out, you sit back knowing, hey, that it will eventually pass and things will be fine as you will soon reach your destination. Facts. Now, number 3, what you think you see is actually the case. You're screwed. The plane is going down and only a few will make it, if that, right? And that's, my point is, right? My point is crypto has had some extremely bearish moments in which the market's bled out bad, but not gone away. It hasn't gone away. It's still here and it will continue to be here. It's also had some incredible bullish moments, which both have changed many people's lives depending on how they were positioned and how they reacted during each phase. Bull versus bear. However, if you look at the cryptocurrency market as a whole, it's still early. We're still early. We are so early. And I don't mean early like Jay. You mean like Bitcoin at 4 cents? Not that early. You mean XRP at 0.02? Not that early. But early in a sense that we're still waiting for clarity. We're still waiting for regulations. We're still waiting for the clarity. We're still waiting for this massive adoption where it's going to change the world. But what we can see, we're in the phase that we can see it's happening. We're in the phase that we can see the adoption is here. That they're connecting the dots, that everything is in place. We are living in one of the greatest times and moments to be a part of this opportunity. Guys, look, a lot of us miss Amazon. It was brought to my attention. A lot of us miss mergers and these big launches of this technology, whether it's Airbnb or the internet or Uber or whatever it is. But we are now we're in that sweet honey spot. I believe we're in the just that beautiful moment, that beautiful position where everything's about to change. Everything's about to change. And I don't think it'll ever be the same, because if you look at the next cycle, which I still think we're in this extended, some people call it extended, some people call it hyper, some people call it super cycle, whatever you want to call it. I think we're still here. I think there's a lot of things that still have to Tokyo Driftland, yeah, in Ecuador, but I can't. It's not Quito. It's another one. Damn it, I can't remember the name of it. Just come to me later, probably. If one of my Ecuadorian friends were here, they could probably yell it out. Yeah. But at the end of the day, the point I'm trying to make is that yeah, I lost my train of thought. I lost my damn train of thought. My bad, Chaka. Chaka Bartels in the house. So yeah, guys, the fact that we're in a sweet spot. So this is where, that's what I'm saying. So we're in the fourth, so not the 17 cycle, not the 21 cycle, again, 17 hype, 21 speculative, and then now we're in a utility driven, massive adoption, yeah. I mean, this to me is going to be the most important cycle. Not the most in the sense that the money, but the point where I think most people are going to look back and regret, because this is where America became bullish. This is where the president became bullish. This is where the SEC became bullish. This is where the world is all in competition of who's going to be in the biggest position. I don't think China's stupid with this information they got going now. Oh, we're going to ban it again. We're going to stop it. You can say what you want to say to get people, try to make the markets go down or whatever your way of doing things, and you're not missing. Everybody's competitive right now. Everybody sees where with our country's at, America, where certain countries like El Salvador and the president over there has been from day one, and they're realizing, man, look, this is it. Nobody wants to be at the little guy in this space, and so there's a lot of competition. Okay, so I put let's see. However, if you look at cryptocurrency market as a whole, it's still early. We are just getting laws, structure, regulations, and adoption that will help this space thrive. And when you truly zoom out, you'll see overall the cryptocurrency market has continuously gone up over time, creating higher highs and higher lows. The key to winning in this space is positioning yourself in the best of your financial ability, the best of your financial abilities. Not this person, not that person. And guys, I don't want to keep pausing, but man, I watch a lot of stuff, because remember, I don't got no job. This is all I do, right? Try to say things because there's a lot of haters out there, but 5 years ago, a little over 5 years ago, me and my wife left California. Our kids were raised, we left, and we started on our journey of financial freedom only because crypto. When you got 6 kids and a wife, my friends, I did a lot of things in my life. I had car lots. I had chains of cell phone stores. My wife's been around. We've had clothing stores. We've had music studios. We've had semi-pro basketball teams that we own, ABA teams. Like, we've done a lot of stuff. And yet the money and the income that I drew from that took care of my family. I had a big ass family. There was no money for extra this or extra that, or, like, meaning that we lived a great life. We drove nice cars and had nice houses, but we also, there's times where in business, you own your business, but it owns you. So it was not all, I'm not gonna sit here and say it was all shine and shits and giggles, because it wasn't. I had some major drawbacks. I had some peaks and valleys. I had some times where I was, my businesses were making tens of thousands a month, like 60, 70, 80,000 a month. I had buyouts where people bought my stores and it brought me in hundreds of thousands in profits, or a couple 100,000 profits. And then I had times, man, I was trying to figure out how to pay my rent. And that's how being an entrepreneur is. That's keeping it a buck. That's not sitting here trying to tell everybody it was this, that. But I've done a lot of things, but I had a family. All my kids have had 3, 4, 5 cars, they always say sometimes you make money, but you're broke at a high level. I've been through that. And I'm not saying that to impress you. I'm saying that because I want you guys to understand. When I share things, everything comes out my mouth is love. Because I'll tell you when I suffered. I'll tell you about abuse I've endured. I'll tell you about being poor, welfare. Oh man, I don't even like talking about it, because when I do get on those things and I think about the struggle, it gets me really emotional. But it's the core of what motivates me. But I'm telling you that it all changed, and I looked at my wife and she looked at me, and we were like, we're going to do this. And I was like, yeah, and it was because of crypto. That was over 5 years ago. We left and we never looked back. I mean, we've gone, but I'm just saying. So when I'm telling you guys these things, I'm telling you because your time is either there, some of you guys are already there, or it's coming. And I've seen a lot of people become millionaires in this space, a lot. And I've seen quite a few people lose everything in this space. Funny thing is, I see more people win than lose. That's the funny thing. I have seen more people win, but the losses are, man, sometimes they're small, sometimes they are, like I said, they're I've seen grown people. I mean, I've had grown people call me crying. It's crazy. Okay, the key to winning in this space is position yourself to the best of your financial ability. And where I was going with that is, I sit around. I know I got off, and I'm gonna get back on track. And I hope you guys can appreciate everything that I say. Shouts out to Big Bro 10, but I see a lot of YouTubers out there talking a certain way, and people in the space talking a certain way, and it's like the blind leading the blind, or the blind trying to act like there's something they're not. And there's some really good people. Don't get me wrong. There's some really amazing up and coming super duper uber stars, but it's the ones that I realize don't. And and some of these people been in longer than me, and it's just the blind are leading the blind. And just be careful, man, because every stinking bull run. Here's what I can tell you, and I'm gonna say this as kindly as possible. This is not an attack against anyone. I've seen where there's people who were where I was at when I started, and they are millionaires and winning, or they're winning, or they're gonna become millionaire. And I've seen people who, when I got into 17, and they are worse than where they were at back then. Facts. So just be very careful who you listen to. That's all I gotta say, because at the end of the day, when the smoke settles, you'll be sitting there with your palm going, go, and being all excited about the community you in, and they ain't one, and your ass ain't one either. I'm telling you, I walked through the whole thing and became financially free through the whole thing, because I watched who I listened to. I connected to the right people. I locked in when I needed to lock in. I learned from my mistakes, and that's why it's so funny. I had a conversation with a Jim yesterday with Caleb Brown. We had a nice long conversation, and I'm not going to say everything, but here's what I'm going to tell you. Caleb Brown's got some pretty big things coming up, and I'm not saying it. I'm not trying to shill, but me and one of my buddies, who's a multi-million-dollar player in this space, we're getting ready to connect Caleb Brown with some major people, and one guy, I'm gonna just say it. I don't give a damn. I'm gonna say it like it is. I got no reason to lie to you. It's not like you know who it is. But one guy that we're connecting with makes $3 million a month, and is a powerful person in who he is. He does some incredible things, and he has crazy millionaires that follow him. And this guy and that group are gonna be connected to Caleb Brown real soon, and so is this other guy who's got probably tens of thousands of people that follow him. Another big, huge dude, Fortune 400 company or something like that, major multimillionaire. And so the reason I'm bringing this up is because successfully is close. People know what's going on, and I'm not going to sit here. I can't wait. I can't want more for people than they want for themselves. I can't. But we were talking about it yesterday. What were we talking about? We were talking about something yesterday. Me and Jim from Kim Brown, and then obviously my other guy. I'm not going to say his name. I'm going to protect the things that we got going on. But we got some major things coming into Kim Brown, and because my world, I keep trying to tell people, I don't have a regular life. My world is not like, and it doesn't mean I'm like, I come from nothing. I come from this. And all my buddies are still out there in the hood doing the same thing, doing this, doing that. But I chose to put myself right. And that circle of people over the years that I've connected with are some very powerful people, very, big people. And anybody in this space that know me for 20, 30 years or 40 years, they know what I'm talking about. But we've got something really big that work on it. And the one thing that we talked about with Jim last night was it something here that I read? God dang it, I lost my freaking point. Me and Jim were talking about security. We were talking about, oh God, what was it? Just the point I'm trying to make, guys, a lot of these, I can't remember. I had something with our conversation and I lost it. But a lot of people aren't prepared. There's a lot of things that are getting ready to happen. You got to make sure that you are protected. You got to make sure that you're in the right place with the right people. And there's different ways. Caleb Brown is not the only one. It's my preferred choice after doing my research and my due diligence and being a pretty smart guy in this space. And again, I made a lot of mistakes, but that's how I got to where I'm at, by learning from those mistakes and getting better. Oh, that's what I was saying. Okay, I remember what. So me and Jim were talking about yesterday, and I said, Jim, I said, we were talking about some of the things, and I brought up my YouTube. And I said, I like where I'm at with my YouTube, because I've noticed when I have had that growth before they shut me down 3 times, when I've had those thousands or all these crazy people that were in this space, you start dealing with a lot of idiots. You start dealing, and my community is so amazing. We got everybody is so freaking phenomenal. You can tell when somebody comes in here and they don't belong. That's what I love about our family, our Crypto for Life Chicago Coin family, XRP Army family. If somebody comes in here, they stick out like a sore thumb, trying to shield, trying to do this, trying to do that. They stick out. And those of you guys who are mods, or and by the way, if you want to be a mod, all I need you to do is send me a DM on my X. I would say Telegram too, because I do check that sometimes, but mostly on my X or my Telegram, but preferably on my X. Leave me a message, and then what I'll need you to do is go on to a video, like a prior video. So when you look at yesterday's video, right, you'll see some videos here, like yesterday's video. If you go to one of the past videos and you put down anything before today, and you put down, hey, 6'8", this is blah, 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 whatever your name is, I'll be able to confirm who you are. And hey, I want to become a mod. I know how to do it now. For a long time, I couldn't figure out how to do it. But yeah, so I just wanted to let you guys know that there's some incredible things happening. Going back to the channel. So we were talking about the channel, and yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, but there's a lot of big things happening, and more so outside of my YouTube channel. That's probably what I was going to get at, outside of my YouTube channel. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm gonna be doing with these guys outside of my YouTube channel. I don't care how big YouTube channels are. The connections I got is gonna bring these guys tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions. Also, really excited about that. Okay, let's move on. The key to winning in this space. Okay, we talked about winning in crypto isn't hard. Okay, people tend to make it hard, treating it like it's gambling or over leveraging themselves. That's a big one, man. There's so many people I saw that, look. Right now, most people have a plan A. I think it's smart to have a plan A while you're trying to, until your plan B gets you there. They say your plan A takes care of your day to day, but your plan B will set you free. So, but the one thing you don't want to do is over leverage yourself, guys, because there's people who've done that, and there's examples of that, like when XRP hit $3 or something cents 4 or 5 years ago, whatever the hell it was, and there's a lot of people who had to wait all those years just to get right again, not because of anything that XRP and Ripple did, but because of this frivolous, ridiculous, corrupted lawsuit against the SEC. From the SEC against Ripple and XRP. So just be careful. Don't over leverage yourself, guys. This is not gambling. Or people sometimes they get too emotional, right? And I think sometimes I think the thing that gets a lot of people is actually right. you know, a lot of you guys, or not you guys, but a lot of people, let's say, their emotions are crazy because what they're thinking is actually right. They know that their lives are never going to be. They know that they're seeing something that most people in their lives won't even listen to, and most people in the world aren't even involved. I think it's still what, if you look at crypto, what they say, 5 to 7% of the world, maybe, because so many people got multiple wallets, 10, 20 wallets, 15 wallets. But the point I'm trying to make, guys, is you're actually right. The people who are like freaking out, they're not freaking out because they're silly. A lot of times you don't. There's a couple reasons you have the emotions go crazy. One is you just, you know, you didn't do your research. You're all over the place. You don't have a real plan. You know, we talk about the 5 steps of success, which is have a strategic plan, do your own research. Don't listen to anybody else because they're not going to be responsible for your outcome. It's good to listen to people to get some input and maybe get some direction, but at the end of the day, it's all on you. So number 1, strategic plan. Number 2, doing your own research. Number 3, control your emotions. That could be 2 or 3, but control your emotions. Number 4, have a take profit strategy. And number 5, stay focused on your why. They say if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not big enough. Now, the point I'm trying to make with that is emotions can be, I'm emotional, not with my investments, because I have a plan. My plan outweighs my emotions. The fact that my plan and the due diligence that I've done, knowing what I know, my plan is solid, locked in based off of the information and the constant research that I'm doing. So my emotions are in check in that. But it's hard to say that you don't get emotional if you look up and saw $100 XRP. You don't think you're going to get emotional? Or if it went back the other way and all of a sudden XRP goes to $1.50, that's emotional. I don't give a damn who you are. You just got to learn how to control them. And like I said, the thing that makes people emotional is they're not either they're not prepared, they get caught in the midst of thinking they're prepared, but not really having a real plan, and then things happen, either bullshit. Do I take it now? What do I do? And it's that moment. And I've been in that moment. That's how I learned. I've been in that moment. Wait a minute. And you look up and your portfolio is like in the millions, and then you're so focused on this that before you realize what's going on and you're getting way too comfortable, you're being greedy, it drops in the millions. So like, damn it, what? I've been there, done that. But then the other part of that is that you actually know, you can see, you can look back and you've got like a cheat sheet history of what crypto has done, or Bitcoin specifically, and it's gone from 4 cents to 126,000. You're going, my God. And you're looking at these undervalued assets like XRP, XLM, XDC, HBAR, and you can go on and on and on. You didn't say mine, damn it, yours too. Whatever you feel it is. And if there's a lot of good ones. I can't name them all. XEN, there's some up and coming ones, but every asset to me is categorized in a 70-20-10 plus or minus, plus even or minus. That's how I do it. It just works for me, right? And there's some great projects like your XCNs, your Zebex, your whatever, and they all fall within, none of those that I just mentioned are 70%ers. Hell no, they're not. And if you think they are, you're crazy. And that's why people get wrecked and screwed. But you have to keep in perspective the reality of what those assets are and the potential that they have versus the connections versus the partnerships versus, whatever it is, right? And that's how I finally turned my crap around and looked around and go, oh my God, we made it. It's not luck. It's those things. So, shouts out. Did you say Crypto Tales in the house? Crypto Tales in the house. So Crypto Tales in the house. I can't read the name, but it says Prath Edmush, something like that right here. Sorry, brother. I don't mean to destroy your name here. Prath. I'm going to just say Prath in short, because I can't see the screen numbers for some reason. But anyway, so let's move on. I don't want to get caught up in wordy over, and I don't give a damn about the hour. At the end of the day, what I do give a damn about is making sure I get the right message out. Okay, so winning in crypto isn't hard. People tend to make it hard, treating it like it's gambling, over-leveraging themselves, too many emotions, or not doing their own research, or following ignorant people. My God, I can't tell you how many people I see get wrecked, who never have won themselves. Following people. And look, I get being part of a family because you just want to be part of a family. I got family and friends that are doing great, and I got family and friends that you don't want to be around more than. But at the end of the day, just God bless you. Be careful who you follow. But selling hope while trying to establish off the back of other. Yeah, I think I misspelled it, but I said some of these guys out here they're selling hope while trying to benefit financially off the back of others. That's what I probably should have put. Anyways, let's move on. Okay, we're going to pause right here, and we're going to go back to Jake Claver and listen to what he has to say.
By trying to play this volatile asset class. But moving forward, as we get institutional adoption here, retail panic selling into oblivion. It's just not going to be the case. It's going to be cushioned by the institutions stepping in and setting up buy walls, which will end up being price floors for a lot of these assets that are utility based.
And I want to say this too, guys. Don't feel bad if you have to sell. If you got into an asset, like, and I'm gonna just be honest with you, because I got to keep it a buck, right? This is not going down with the Titanic. If you got into an asset like, let's say XRP at 20 cents and you had to sell at $2, I mean, hopefully you didn't sell your entire position. But again, I'm not a financial advisor. But look, that comes with it. That just, like, if you don't think I've taken profit in certain aspects, if you don't think I've sold certain things in certain, and if you maybe sold, like, I'm trying to be careful how I say this because I don't want to talk about what I got, but I've sold in certain things, and I'm not going to go back and go, let's just use XRP for an example, and I said, oh, I sold so much at this amount. Well, more often than not is to reestablish a better position, and it's not even a fragment of what I got. But the point I'm trying to make, I'm trying to give an example, so stay with me, okay? Because I know how haters are. And I'm not, you guys aren't there, but some hating, oh, you're trying to brag. No, I'm not. There might be a time where Dom and Phil are right, and I look up in 2030 and XRP's 1,000. I'm like, damn, I sold at $3, but it was a small fraction, and I'm not going to say, damn, I sold some at 25, and damn, I sold some at 50, and damn, I sold some at 100. That's part of the take profit strategy. Now, what I'm banking on, because I do believe that some of these numbers are going to come, like Jake does. Not saying our numbers timelines are the same, but hey, I gather all information and I predicate my strategy based off of a lot of due diligence, right, and different perspectives, and then I go back and evaluate those perspectives based off my own beliefs and due diligence. But the point I'm trying to make is that a lot of times, if you heard me talk about the 70, 20, 10 dollar cost average and the 25, 25, 50, 70, 20 to dollar cost average out, 25, 25, 50 dollar cost average out. My out is typically so I can reposition myself. Johnny Crypto from Good Morning Crypto talked about this when it got to like $3.15 or something like that. He said, I took a big chunk out and then I reinserted around $1.90. Like, that's everybody, but I wouldn't. I got to be careful because I'm not trying to be a financial advisor here. You got to be careful with that because I know in the early days I moved positions out and was like, oh my God. And I gave this example, which is why I always trip out on Polkadot, right? When they did that redenomination from $300. A lot of people don't realize, probably weren't even around long enough to know that Polkadot at one point was $300 per coin, 300 and something, right? And they went from $300, they did a redenomination from one to 100, and it went down to $3. And the day that it did, I gobbled it up and thought I was doing something, and it had a pump up, and it did some capitulation and went sideways, and I freaked out because, again, I wasn't as good as I was today, and I was a trader. I was looking at it from a perspective kind of somewhat between trader and overall investor, and then I got out thinking, oh my God, 200-something thousand, and then, but when I was still in that learning phase, and I thought 200-something thousand was a big deal, freaked out, pulled out like 100-something thousand in profit. And then I looked up and it flew, and I missed the boat in the sense that it went to $56 and it would have been like 1.6, 1.7 million. And so that's what I'm saying. Like, just be careful how you navigate and how you do things. Again, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Yeah, just be careful. That's what I'm saying. Just have a good strategy. Okay. Shouts out to Tara on this one. She says, we're continuing to track subwave 2 on BTC. Wave 2 has a textbook target at the 0.618. She's talking about the Fibonacci retracement support. And you can see Bitcoin already wicked that level at $85.3 thousand. The structure itself does not look finished yet. Wow. Okay, because of the structure, strong resistance has formed at the 0.382 to 0.5, which is 87.6 thousand to 88.4 thousand, and I don't think BTC will be able to break those levels if it pushes up now. Okay, so she's saying based off of this, if it pushes up now, it may have a hard time getting past those levels. You guys can see where it's kind of stuck right now, capitulating in that $85,000 range. She goes on to say, I think BTC needs to reach a critical support at 83.6 to 83.3. before it heads to the $103,000 resistance. I'll keep you updated as this develops. So this lady is very in tune with her TA. Shouts out to Tara on this, but you can kind of see what she's talking about. It needs to reach these certain levels before it can then, and again, that would then play out in this double bottom here on the, what is this, on the what? The 4-hour time frame. So obviously you got one large tap here. You'd have another one right here at the 0.16, it looks like. And then all of a sudden this could cause, or the 0.83, 0.382. And then this could pop up to the upside. So that again, for any trader that knows, that is what we call a W formation, right? Double tap or W formation. So we'll see how that plays out. Shouts out to Tara for that. Let's keep on with Jake, though. Some really good points here. Shouts out to Anthony Weiner. Shouts out to War Be Free. It depends on your average cost of your bag. If you sell when it gets higher, you use it to buy back lower. Did you gain coins or lose coins? Boom, boom. Melissa throwing bars. Boom. Right? So it's all part of the strategy, because I had a buddy of mine that we just had this, and I know I brought it up on one of our streams where he had sold and then bought back, but had less coins. It's a tricky game. It's a trick. Shouts out to World Be Free for that one.
You know, if you're working
Shouts out to Jose.
in private
Did I miss anybody else? Crypto Tales? Anybody else I missed? You know, family's important to me. Gotta take a pause. I gotta make sure Chaka Bartel. I think I got it. Jose, Big Bro 10. I think I got, Mama Land. What's up, Mama Land? Mama Land in the house. Portugal airport name is crazy. Landing across one. Yeah, it is Ecuador, but it's not Quito. It's the other one I used to go to all the time. I have to ask my wife. Because we were looking for a house out there at one point. I don't even know if my wife's watching this or not, but it was, it'll come to me. But that's the freakiest thing I've ever seen. Let's keep it going.
equity, you're making investments there. There's often ROFR provisions by a company that will buy back their shares, at a certain price. And they kind of set a price floor for their shares on the secondary market. This will be similar when it comes to these assets on public markets for people to be able to purchase them. And really, in my other videos, I've talked about where I don't know that that's going to be the case at all. I think that there's going to be, walls put up for retail. If you're not an accredited investor or a qualified purchaser or one of these large institutions, it may be.
I'm going to have you guys go listen to Jake here. I don't want to play his video all the way through. I'm actually going to stop it right now because I do got more stuff I need to talk about. But I do believe that that time is going to come. We've heard many people talk about as these ETF roll out, a lot of the crypto or a lot of XRP specifically in regards to XRP ETFs are going to be locked up, right? And so, once OTC sales have been, I would say limited, but drained, then the next logical place they're going to go to is, where's the next place we can go get this? And that's going to be at these exchanges. And so you can see a lot of these exchanges already, guys, that their supply of XRP are depleting. And I just think when everything really pops off, and right now I think what's happening is that there's a lot of things that we used to talk about, like the 1700 NDAs, the ETFs, the BIS, ISO 20022, utility adoption, all these things that we used to talk about, and now they're starting to happen. And they're not happening where there's massive movement, because obviously we're going against the manipulation and the movement of Bitcoin, because we're still very correlated as most assets are. But as all these things are put into place, there's going to be like a boom, 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 and it's going to be like all at once. And if you guys see me a lot of times on X, I say slowly, then all at once. Slowly, all these things are being implemented, and then boom, all at once. And I think the boom all at once is really going back to the narrative of the flip of the switch moment. When Brad talked about the basketball being held on the water and all these different things like that. So I just think when this thing pops, it's going to pop. And I think when it pops, it's going to be different. It's going to be different than what we've seen. Okay, well, at this point, crypto looks crazy. Queen Taylor says the best time to buy crypto is when the X timeline is angry and charts look ugly. And I do believe that's the case. Now, I posted this again. It says, and they say it wasn't personal. This in regards to DAI. Posted this. It says the debanking of Brad Garlinghouse is mentioned in the report. So there's this financial services GOP. Obviously, this came out, and it says new chairman, Republican or Representative French Hill, and Oversight Committee Chair Congressman Dan Musler, if that's how you say it, issued a final staff report on the Biden administration's efforts to debank digital assets businesses and individuals, the individuals behind them. So in this, if you open this up, there's a link here. You can click that link. DAI points this out, where it shows that they had purposely attacked these digital asset companies and the people behind them, which is why you've seen Operation Choke Point 2.0, the rig from the start, the war against crypto, which is why I tied the video back into what DAI put out. It says it was not only businesses that were impacted, individuals involved in the digital asset ecosystem, including founders and employees of digital asset firms, were personally debanked. You heard the Trump family. Hell, I've been debanked, and I ain't part of none of it, but just anything tied into crypto. But this is specifically talking about these people. In many cases, the personal accounts of digital asset founders, employees, and investors were also targeted. For an example, Hayden Adams, the CEO of Uniswap, Brad Garlinghouse, the CEO of Ripple Labs, and Tyler Winklevoss, the co-founder of Gemini, were all personally debanked. So for people who don't understand, the message in what Fruition Productions put out, the war against crypto, rig from the start. Guys, I'm telling you, this to me, maybe you don't see it now, and that is your boy 68J, and I was very blessed and honored to be in that documentary, Rig from the Start. But you may not see it now, but I think sometime in the future, that is going to be an iconic, like, you got to think about it. XRP hits $100. That video, like, slowly but surely, that video started. Everyone's going to say, "How did I miss it?" I mean, think about when Bitcoin's documentary and anything related to Bitcoin got hot. It wasn't when it was 4 cents. It wasn't when it retraced, like the guy said, from 32 cents back down to whatever he said, 2 cents. Not when it went from 100 back down to whatever he said, or 1,000. No, that video wasn't popular. The video got popular when it got up into the 1,000. They're like, wait a minute, this damn thing, they said it was going to 0. It was 4 cents. And then all of a sudden, people start researching. How? What happened? How do we miss it? And then all of a sudden, that Bitcoin documentary went crazy because people were in search of answers. How? Why? Right? And I do believe the same damn thing is going to happen when XRP hits $50 maybe. Matter of fact, I'll go back as far as saying this video is going to go crazy when XRP, because I told you guys before, right now, if it triples, currently, if it triples, not even triple, that's what's so crazy. Not because of where Ethereum's at right now, it doesn't even take triple. If you look at it, less than $6, $5 and some cents, anything can set this thing going crazy. Now, obviously, we know that Bitcoin and Ethereum will move as well, but as of right now, from its current position, if something crazy happened with XRP, it would need to be $5 and some cents to be number 2. $30, I have to do the math, like 30, just over, right around $30 or so, 30, 32, 33, whatever it is, to be number 1 above Bitcoin. That's what you need to understand. And at that point, we're still talking about a sub $50 token, a $50 price. A sub $50 price puts it at number 1 in the world. Were we just talking about $30? Puts it number 1. So you look up one day and go, now, obviously, Bitcoin would pump and everything else. But if there was something what's happening right now, there's a lot of bullish momentum, a lot of things being put in place right now with XRP. If something was to send this coin to soar like it did in 17, I've seen a lot of crap soar in this market, and then all of a sudden flush people out. But if that was to soar right now and somehow gain some individual, because of what it has in place individually, partnerships, acquisitions, whatever, governments, all that stuff, utility, whatever, from an institutional perspective, all of a sudden you look up and then you'll be thinking, damn, the number 1 asset is $30 to $40. It depends on how Bitcoin moves. Bitcoin is at 86, or let's say it moved up some 90,000 under 100,000. Ethereum is like 3,000, and you'd be going, damn, this coin is number 1 at that price. And it's just the hysteria, the FOMO, all the things that will come with that. And I think at that point, people will go back and start trying to do research and go, how? And you start looking, and that I believe this video is going to be iconic because it will. It's kind of like, what's the thing saying in life? A lot of times people get famous when the death happens, right? Like Picasso or this and that, or Rembrandt or whatever. Like, oh, whoever did the Mona Lisa, whatever it is. Like in the hip hop world, you see somebody like what's my man name that passed away, and his music just all of a sudden exploded. Wasn't the same when he was here, right? What's that guy that just passed away? Anybody remember? What's that brother that passed away in L.A.? Oh, God. The guy with the braids, light-skinned guy, and then all of a sudden he passes, his music, boom, but this is going to be the reverse. All of a sudden, not die, but explode, and all of a sudden it's like, so it's the opposite in crypto. The bigger it gets, the more people are trying to figure out how and why they missed it. So I do believe that's going to be the point. I don't know how I forgot my brother's name. Jesus, sucks. Okay, stop being crazy with your crypto. Well, Insider pointing this out. Just in 219,706 crypto traders were liquidated in the past 24 hours. Damn, that's a lot. 219,000, almost 220,000 people were liquidated. Woo! Nipsey Hussle. There you go. Thank you, DCA Crypto Dave. Damn. Okay. How did I forget my man Nip? Yeah, as soon as he passed away, his music freaking exploded. Ripple expanding in Singapore is huge. It's a big deal. Coin Bureau puts this out. Ripple expands its license in Singapore. Ripple just got approval to expand payment operations in Singapore. They can now offer payment services using RLUSD, XRP in the world's second richest country. Wow, big things are happening. You trying to figure out, do you am I holding the right thing? Let me stop. Will we see bullishness over the next 31 days in December with crypto? Can Santa save us? He better, because if not, I ain't believing in Santa no more. Let me stop. Gold in control. Gold is in control. You damn straight. What happened to my post? Somebody they must have delisted it. Gold is in control. All right. Okay, Santa is not real. This is what I said. I was being funny, but I said Santa is not real. I was having a little hissy being funny. You know, sometimes you got to put out text like that. I went all the way to the mall and sat in this dude's lap that looked like Santa. And he said, "What do you want?" And I said, "I want to be bullish for December." And then we opened up with this. And I went home and I told my wife, Santa ain't real. Damn it, I don't care what nobody say. Let me stop. It's the coffee. I told my wife to get decaffeinated. Makes me crazy. Agreed, Mama Land. There are no rules. Only those with power and those without, playing two different games. That's a fact. That's a fact. Preth is in the house. Would you say I want to sell my BTC and buy more XRP, but I'm stuck. I bought too many dips. I feel you, brother. Donatello's in the house. What's up? Donatello's in the house. All right. Sheesh. Here we go, yo. So what's the scenario? Extreme fear. That's what it is. Been here before. Be here before. What? Oh my God. I got to proofread myself. I meant been here before. This is a phase in crypto where you truly get tested. Not everyone will make it, but those who do typically are the ones who win big. That's a fact. Shouts out to my guys. Again, I had an incredible conversation with Jim, guys. I'm going to tell you right now, when that AWS thing happened, that is a feeling you do not want. So, I believe, and I'm just talking, I'm your brother. I should be able to talk the way I want to talk. Shouts out to Esco J215 P68. Shouts out to my brother. Good to see you, my man. Salute to you, brother. I believe things happen. You know, it's funny because I was searching and I was looking at some different things. I'm not going to mention everything, but I was searching for 2 months. And I was having a lot of conversations with a lot of important people in those 2 months. The owners of these companies, the people behind these companies. And I was trying to figure out what was the best fit for me, not for anybody else, for me. And in the process of doing that, I decided to make a move based off of my due diligence, which sent me to Caleb Brown. They got a lot of things going to be working on. There's a lot of great people out there. There's Caleb Brown. There's obviously things that Jake are doing and many other people. You see some stuff going up at Uphold. There's not all these different people, but for me, my best fit for me personally was Caleb Brown. Now, as I went to Caleb Brown, doing that process of, getting on board, they came out here, they, treated me like VIP. They've got American offices. One already opened, another one's open up here in LA, or not here in LA, but down the street in LA from Vegas. They got a lot of big things happening, a lot of big people, a lot of millionaires that I know. I had conversations with them backdoor before I made my decision. Very smart. I mean, people who are managing billions, right? Some pretty powerful people I didn't even know, and even people in my community I didn't even know. I was like, "Oh, you got Caleb? Yeah, I got Caleb Brown 6A." I was like, "Okay." Some people have been there with him for 4 or 5 years, whatever. So, did my due diligence, and then all of a sudden, 2 things happened that were almost like checkmates or validation. And the first thing came when the gentleman. I don't know which one came first, but I know they were both right around the same, like within a week or so of each other. The gentleman who lost $3 million thinking he was on, and it doesn't matter the wallet. I believe at the time the wallet that he was talking about was LA Pal, which I think there was just some kind of miscommunication. I don't want to blame LA Pal or nothing like that, but there was some kind of misunderstanding between cold and hot wallet. And regardless, the guy don't feel like he did anything wrong, but he was hacked nevertheless, and they took $3 million of his money. And the reason that hit me so hard in my heart, not because I'm trying to shill Caleb Brown. No, it was like I felt God was talking to me to an extent because the guy is my age, like right around my age. Him and his wife were, I think they were more like people who had jobs, versus me and my wife. Me being a business owner, my wife comes from a job background, but him and his wife were on the very day, were like, we're getting ready to move to Vegas. They're getting ready to, pack up the bag, because at that point they had so much XRP, it was worth $3 million. And you're talking about at this price point? Shh. Can you imagine getting a 20, 30, 40, 50 bucks? So they were going to move to Vegas, and then they got hacked. And it broke my heart because I could resonate with this guy, and he did everything right. He did everything he's supposed to do, and he's freaking and I pray and I hope to God that the FBI, whoever helps this guy, gets his money back. But it really hurt my heart because I can't imagine somebody wiping me out being so. But the point of the story is, a lot of you guys saw it. He came out, and the first thing he mentioned in his first video when it first happened, and the second video when he came out and explained, was Caitlin Brown. He said, I heard, DAA talk about Caitlin Brown. I heard Brad Combs. I heard other people talk about it. I was wanting to get there. This wouldn't have happened. Institutional grade custody with Fireblocks, all this. And he was saying all this stuff. He said in the first video, and then he came back in the second video and said, look, I don't have them. I wish I would have got them because this wouldn't have happened. And it just validated some things in me. Now, the second thing that happened is I had just onboarded and connected with them, and then all of a sudden the AWS whole outage happened. And I remember we were at my nephew's funeral, and I was in the hotel room. My wife was out with her sisters, kind of just bonding with family, and she came back to the room, which kind of I think I was kind of dozing off, but I was up, and then she came in, and I just kind of the TV was on in the hotel room, and I picked up my phone and I went right back to what I was doing. It was like right after midnight, right around midnight, and I noticed, I started seeing, it wasn't even on X yet. I went to go log into something, and I didn't have access, and I have different wallets and different things. I was like, yo, what the hell's going on with this? And it was telling me that my authentication code wasn't working for certain things, and I started freaking out. I was like, yo, what the fudge is going on? And for one moment, no, I know that, here's what I do know. The guy situation where he lost the $3 million happened first. So when that night happened, I freaked out, and I started thinking, I'm gonna tell you how freaked out I was, because before I thought about, I had just kind of moved things with Kevin Brown. Before I even thought about contacting them, because I hadn't got to that they have an app now, by the way. You can see everything on an app. But before I even got to that point, it's like when you go to your bank account and it says zero, right? It didn't say zero, but like I had, because I think of the anxiety of hearing that guy's story that was fresh, like that week. I believe it was that quick. I literally started thinking, oh my God, how am I going to tell my wife? Like, did I get hacked? Like, I was freaking the hell out. I was freaking the hell out because it didn't make sense. I couldn't get into nothing. And what it was is that the authentication code, when you go in and you authenticate your each one of your apps, I was going through all of them. None of it, because I keep my assets spread out. So then I went to go to my Caitlin Brown app. And because I was trying to use the app itself, it wasn't working. I was like, what the freak is going on? Well, the app it works a lot like other apps where you put in your password, you Google authenticator and all those things to access. Well, so I call up Jim, who at the time was in Arizona. I'm sorry, in Australia. And then I had just met with my broker, which was Andrew. And so Andrew, it came down. So he went back to the office. Him and his wife now live in, originally from Australia, lives in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, I believe it is, where one of the offices is at. But he was down working on the opening of the LA office. So they're making a big splash. He said our biggest client base is in the United States of America. And so these guys are solid, right? Bought out by the biggest exchange in Australia, solid. And so when I called Jim, I couldn't get hold of Andrew because it was midnight. He was probably asleep, right? As a matter of fact, he was in Florida, so it was 3 hours. So it was like 3 a.m. there, where Jim was in Australia, which was like 6 hours behind me. So it was like maybe 6 if it was 12, right? So he hits me back and he goes, "Hey, what's going on, buddy?" And I'm like, "Yo, I'm freaking out. I can't access anything. Like, remember, I just got on board with these guys." And that just happened with that guy's deal. And he didn't know. It happened. It was like, I think the outage happened at 12 o'clock. I probably knows at 12:05. I called him by the time I did some, maybe like 12:15, and he contacted the COO. Don't remember exactly how it happened. And then he said, "I'm gonna call you back. I don't know what's going on." Well, he called me. He said, "Maybe look on X and see if you see anything." Right when I went to X, I started seeing people freaking out, like, "Oh, I can't access this." So I realized it was bigger than me. And so he hits me back. He goes, "Oh, yeah, Jay, AWS is out." He started explaining everything. And then I started seeing all the posts about AWS. He goes, "But by the way, the app is one thing, but your institutional grade custody is nonstop. Nothing affects that." And so he goes, "Would you like to make a trade? Would you like to do something?" And he says, "You have full access to your account." And I just at that moment I fell in love, and I said, man, thank you God, because I realized between the guy's story and that outage. And so sometimes things like that play out, and it's like validation that you need to do something different. And I don't know what people need out there, but that guy losing $3 million was enough for me. And millionaires validating who these guys were and the things they're doing now. And so that's why now I've turned my whole financial life and connections over to Caleb Brown. And that's what's happening right now. That is how they will control the people selling when prices go up. How do you prevent decentralized cash outs? Don't let them log in. Facts is. So she knows. So anyways, this right here says first class institutional grade custody. Why I chose Caleb Brown with guest Jimmy. So if you guys didn't hear this, I'm gonna let you guys check this out real quick. It's a little clip, and this is my link for anybody that wants to check it out. I do get credit if you guys go over there. You know, it's one of my. I've had a lot of people try to be affiliates with me, and I said no, because I don't want to be responsible. But after doing my research and being connected to these guys, listen to what these guys have to say. Really good guys. Shouts out to Jim and to Andrew. So I want to kind of talk about why I, chose Caleb Brown. The process of my thinking in looking and searching for your services. And then I want to kind of dive right into some questions with you guys. So now I'm not going to play this because it's 4 minutes. I'm already over an hour and 30, but do yourself a favor. Go listen to this. If you want to go check out the full link and the full interview, you guys can go over to our live. I had them as guests right here. You can see right here is why I chose Caleb Brown with Andrew, who's my personal broker, and Jim. Really good guys, really amazing dudes. I got some really incredible things going on with them right now. So shouts out to them. You guys get a chance to go check it out. Just a little clip of it. Okay. Waiting for a public notice, 21 shares. So this is Zach Record came out and said it's being widely reported that the 21 shares XRP ETF is going live tomorrow, which is today. This was yesterday. I have seen the updated S1 and A-8-A, but we have not received a public notice from the CBOE yet. Still waiting for that notice to confirm it's going live, but it should soon. Shouts out to my man, Zach Rector. Guys, what we're talking about right now is, can we expect a bullish Christmas? And I know right now I've had so many people hit me up and say, no, Jay, it's not happening. But it still remains to be seen, guys, because, again, until we lose certain supports, you can see Bitcoin right now is back over 86,000. XRP is 203. Until we lose, again, going back to this young lady here, what's her name again? Right here, Tara. And I kind of resonate with people who do really good TA, because remember, I was trained in TA. I went to school for TA. I took courses in TA, like in trading. So I can kind of tell when people are kind of off, or they're using their knowledge to kind of sway people. But this is some really legit TA right here. And what she did say in here is we need to go back and bounce off that 83.6 in that area. So even where we're at now, guys, if you go back and look at, if you go back and look at Bitcoin, and you go back over the last, where's it at here, month, you can see that we've gotten down into the, right around that level that, see 24 hours, where does it show in 24 hours? You can see we got into that 84-ish. Did we get down to that? Let's see right here. Yeah, we actually tapped, right? We're right on what she said. She said 83 and some change. We hit 83.09 and 83.9, and you can see where we start popping up to the upside. So it doesn't have to be dollar for dollar, but she's pretty much on point in what she said, which is why I like this TA here. She said we had to hit around that 83.6 to 83 points. So even 83.6, you're only talking about a couple $100, and we did that before it heads to the 103 resistance. So again, shouts out to her TA, and I do believe we're right there. So going back to answer this question, can we expect a bullish Christmas? Look, this is the way I'm going to answer that. TR Gurley's in the house. That's my dude. Thank you, my brother. This is my dude. So we got some big things going, TR. TR's a stud. One of the greatest in the world in what he does. And this is why I love these guys like this. You look at TR, oh, who's TR? He's not, just another guy in a chat. No, he's not. TR's done some multi-million-dollar things. He's done movies and one of the biggest in the world at what he does. Shouts out and much respect to this dude. And he's part of that story, TR, and I don't want to put him on the spot, but he's part of that story. I won't talk about the particulars, but he's part of that story of that lawyer that sat in the bar that bought $6,000 worth of Bitcoin that turned out to now be worth almost $200 million. How do I know that story? Through TR. So that's all I got to say about that. Real stories, real situations. Can you imagine 6,000 turning into 200 million? Yeah, it's real. So anyways, going back to this, the reason I believe that we can still expect a bullish Christmas for crypto, because one, yes, Bitcoin hit an all-time high in October 6th to be exact. BNB hit $1,300 October 16th or something like that. I just read it earlier. But the point I'm trying to make is that, you know, you've seen XRP because the cuffs were taken off and it went from 50 cents to whatever. There were certain coins that kind of had a little bit of an uptick, maybe some more so than others. But if you go back and listen to what Jake was saying, in the sense that a lot of coins aren't going to make it, a lot of the hype is gone, a lot of the speculation is gone. If you really look at the assets that had any kind of upward movement, and it wasn't just XRP, you saw some upticks in maybe XLM, XDC, some of these assets, and then you saw assets like Polkadot that had nothing going on, right? And then nothing against, or some of these assets like Shiba, nothing's going on because the times are changing. And that's why I'm telling you guys, go and listen to what Jake Claver was talking about. You're going to thank me later. You know, I know we got all these things, but like, what's more important than your financial future, right? So success leaves clues. What he said here, which was 22 hours, this right here, this is money.
Be very difficult for you.
This is money. Go watch it. It's money, you know? So, but I don't believe when I look at altcoins, we haven't had an altcoin season. That's a fact. That is a bona fide fact. We are in a different cycle. That's a fact. That is a bona fide fact. You've seen many people, what the hell is this up here? You see many people say it. We have not had a altcoin season yet. And we if we're going by 4-year cycles, we should have already had a bull run. Now, have we had the beginning stages of a bull run where certain assets might have benefited more so than others? Yes, I do believe that. And typically Bitcoin goes, capitulates sideways action, and everything kind of pumps as money moves over. But that's not happening right now because there's a lot of uncertainty. There's a lot of I think more in retail, but for institutions, they're not uncertain. They're just waiting. They're waiting for that regulatory clarity. But they're connecting the dots. It's happening right now. ISO 20022 in full effect. But people, well, how come nothing happened? Because things are being put in place. It's not like we're there. It's just not time yet. Everything is being locked in, put in place. Nobody wanted to make any moves while old Gary Gensler and all those guys are going on. And then all of a sudden, slowly but surely, things start turning around. So this is not microwavable results. This is not, it's going to happen in 1 year. But what I can tell you, it's happening now. And Jake confirms in a lot of the videos that he talks about because he's in these rooms. I don't know a lot of people that are in the rooms like Jake, which is why I relate over to Jake so much. Now, I do know some people who are connected and in big boy multi-million-dollar rooms that are in crypto. I do know those people. And I told you guys, if you guys go over and listen to that damn video that I did with this guy. Where's it at? It was one of these videos I did, and I was blown away by the conversation I had with this guy. I know it wasn't 3 months ago. Where's that damn video at? Was it this one? Is it? I know the video did pretty. Let's see, it might be. It's like ridiculous. Anyways, all right, guys, I'm with me. I am tired of it. I got to explain to you why I want some properties. I invest in this. I didn't say crypto, but I was like, six. Wait. 22 cents. You got any? I don't. Doesn't matter. It live. That's my brother, Crypto Clay, in the house. I don't remember. Who else got me? What video was that where I did that? And I had just talked to the guy the night before. Was it this one? Out of this world. Oh, this one. Moonvember? Shoot, I don't remember. I do too many damn videos. Anyways, yeah, if you guys caught that, you know what I'm talking about. The one that I had that conversation with that guy who runs a fortune. He's over $40 billion, some crazy thing like that. And he's well connected into the who's and from a legal big boy, connected to guys who put in 150 million in XRP at 50 cents and 50 million in XRP at 50, like those type of people. Like people who, you know, when you think you're doing something and you hear, oh, well, I know a lady who has 20 million XRP, and I'm like, damn. So he's in that circle. So, but anyways, guys, so I really don't believe that we have, I don't believe we're in a bear market yet. And I'm going to go with Jake on this. Again, it's not financial advice. I don't know if we're going into one anytime soon because even though what we see looks bad in the sense of a Bitcoin retracing 40-something thousand, 46,000 or so, even though we see XRP pull back from 40-something to $2, even though we've seen some of these assets, it's too much in place. There's too much in place right now that we haven't seen the aftermath of what's happening with those dots that are being connected and all the things that are being implemented right now. We haven't seen that now. So when you look at this pullback, I think it's healthy. I think I do think it's a lot of manipulation. I'm not going to sit here and act like it's not. You go listen to Zach Rector. He's talked about it many times and many others has as well. But I do believe that, you know, they're doing what they feel they need to do to position themselves better, and that's typically what the wealthy do. They don't do what's in our best interest. They do what's in the best interest of themselves, and I think that's what we're seeing right now. I got to hear it because I know my wife is waiting for me. Let's see. I did an interview on next, so I'm okay. Okay, let's keep it going. I got to hurry up. More chaos before the storm, or just more chaos? I almost feel like I need to come back. I really do. I might need to come back. We're already over an hour. So guys, I think I'm gonna do a part 2 a little bit later. I'm gonna remember that it's right underneath this this thumbnail, because I got so much more to talk about. There's so many more things that I didn't get to. Shoot, I'm coming back. I'm coming back. So I'm gonna end it right now, guys, because I got long-winded, an hour and 44 minutes. And I'm not gonna take another damn hour and 44. But I'll just remember where I left off at, and I'm gonna remember that I left off at the thumbnail. So I'll be back later today. I'll create a thumbnail. I'll put it back out. I just can't do it right now because we got some stuff to go do with my wife. So I'll pick a time later on tonight, and I'll come back and finish up what I want to talk about in regards to, can we expect a bullish Christmas or not? I think there's more things that's saying we can than we can't. Don't let temporary setbacks and manipulation determine or dictate the work that you've put in. If you put in the work, nothing should be able to shake your faith. And until that's invalidated with some type of massive downturn, I can't even see it happening, because we haven't had an altcoin season yet. We haven't had this cycle. And I do personally, again, not financial advice, I believe we're in a super hyper cycle, whatever the hell you want to call it. It's not the same. Just my opinion. Guys, I appreciate you guys in a major way. You about have to. All right, guys, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. I'm going to get out of here. Shouts out to Esco J15. I'll let you guys know when I'm going to go live again today. Real Canal Life. We got the T-Pat is in the house, Esco J215. Unless something stops me from going out, like I'm hanging out with my wife or something. But I think I'm going to go live again, unless I go do something with the wife tonight. And if not, then I'll be back on tomorrow to attack I'll just probably put like part 2 of this or something. TR Gurley, that's my man, Pots and Pans, one of the biggest in the game, and what he does. World Be Free's in the house. That's my sister. What is today? Monday? Oh, she got a treat coming up for y'all in 2 more days. World Be Free, VTHO. Make sure y'all check it out. Nest Force in the house. Crypto Outlaw. Good to see you, my brother. Crypto Outlaw. Esco 215. Marble Land's in the house. DCA Crypto Dave is in the house. We got Nest Force. I already said that. Prath is in the house. Good to see you, my brother. Chicken 415. Donatello. I see you. DCA Crypto Dave in the house. My man, Pots and Pans, Mama Land. I see you. Real Canal Life. Yazid. What's up, Yazid? That's my dog right there. Always showing up on time. Nicole's in the house. We got What is Real Matrix. That's my brother. Appreciate you, my man. Who else we got up in here? Anthony, the man, the myth, the Wanner. That's my dog right there. Appreciate Anthony. Him and his wife been over here to the house. Crypto Tales also been over here to the house. Shouts out to, oh, wait a minute. You know we can't get out of here. Did I play Tales? I ain't played one bit yet. Good Lord. Crypto for Life, Chicago Coin Family. We ain't about to break this streak. This is for you. Love y'all. XRP Army, let's do it.
This one, does it like it is. Got them switching gears, new Ferrari with the tens. On some bullish shit, stop crying, start buying, getting bags. I ain't lying, money multiplying, call it rocket science. I'm so tired of this crypto control. You already know, banks ain't letting money go. Swimming in the dough as you see gets exposed. Tomorrow's the day we gon' blow.
Because of time constrictions, guys, I'm only gonna play Tales' verse one more again, and then we out of here.
I'll be better off from selling at a loss, not caring what it costs. I ain't when it drop, waiting for the flip flop to the tip top. When you watching TikTok, so my new wristwatch hit the Vegas Crypto Meetup.
Vegas Crypto Meetup 2026 is coming. You want to know more about it? Just be patient. I got the right people in place. It's about to happen big time.
Hello, nice to meet you. Show with DAI like we do it all the time. Did a show with Lady E in the bag, man, the next night. A moon party, so you know we had to take flight. So many years and it's still no cheers. If fear selling and I'm still all in. What do you do when your freedom is an illusion? How high will it go when the XRP get the moving?
Come on.
It's amusing when you know that you ain't losing. Going back to go back, got them choosing. Which one? Bag it up. This one, bag it up.
Crypto Tales is what I call the crypto rap prophet. That brother's got bars on bars on bars. Who else do we need to recognize before we get up out of here? Jose's in the house. My queen, Jeanette's in the house. Anybody else? Let's see. Big Bro 10, I see you, sis. We got Chaka Bartels. That's my dog right there. Chaka Bartels up in here. We got Tony Bags. That's one of my dogs right there, man. Got to hang out with Tony Bags a couple Las Vegas events ago. Super cool cat. Much love to Tony Bags. Who's we got up in here? We got Nuwali. What's up, Nuwali? Up in here. That's my dog. Anybody else? Hall's Balls. That's my man, Pots and Pants. Appreciate you. Art Caffeine up in here. Huh? Charts can't lie. Charts can't lie. Sometimes things can invalidate those damn charts, but not my man. Charts can't lie in the house, huh? Charts can't lie. That's my dog. Ivan Hernandez up in here. That's a fact. Guys, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Until next time, my wife says, hope everyone had a wonderful Thanksgiving. We'll see you guys possibly later on. Depends on what me and the wife does. If not, we'll do it. I don't know. Maybe I'll do a late night stream tonight. How about that? We'll see. We'll see how it plays out. Depends on how late we get out and whatever, but I'm sure we're going to go do something. With that being said, guys, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Till next time. It's your boy James, AK68J. Before we go, 100 plus people watching. Thank you so much. Go over to our Crypto for Life page. It's Crypto for Life with your boy 68J. We go live Monday through Friday, 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're back live. I just realized earlier when I started this that my X channel is working. No more outages. So we're live on X, live on YouTube, live on IMUTV. Appreciate you guys. And until next time, it's your boy James, AK68J. Peace. Greatest family on planet Earth. EARF. Yeah.